Oh, okay, then we can start during this hour. I think I will remind you actually what does it mean coaching and team coaching and all these tools, which will also, this theme will continue by third webinar. And I see also Latvian Chamber is here, and she will also continue this tools, what I will start today, and will show. I am absolutely sure that you know already all these things, but no, we can repeat what we know. And I want to ask you actually to discuss, because we are just only 12 persons in online, then we can also, you can interrupt me if you want to comment something, or I'm wrong in some opinion, then please really discuss and ask, and also comment from your experience, because my base is actually, I started to interested in this coaching and coaching team mostly from my business side, and then just only in a university I used these methods, and already and all the time I can say that it's appropriate for all persons, for all communicate skills, for all partners, for all in a business, also in a groups, in a also in a student groups, and really these methods works. You can really earn money based on these methods. Then we can just only discuss how it's better, and how we can develop, and some this correlation do between these teams. And I will just mention some during our, and then we can discuss. And you already also see my templates with the case studies, and also some examples, which already you know, I'm sure, just for train. And also, if you want, you can use these materials for students, for partners, for partnerships, and so on. There are some simple methods which you can use every day, in every time, for needs. And then also I will show it during the presentation. So my also chat is opened already for your comments and your experience. It's a very necessary actually to base this presentation not only to theory background, but also on our experience and opinion, and you can also do it with me. So the first of all, this first theme. What does it mean coaching? Just only, as I said, I will repeat what we already know also from the first webinar. And I like all these elements and aspects, but coaching, I think, has been defined in many ways. And the essence of coaching is, I think, from two aspects. The first one, to help a person change in the way they wish, and helping them go in the direction they want to go. That's a very important thing. And the second one, the coaching supports person at every level in becoming who they want to be. And doesn't matter, student, partner, family, maybe member, absolutely doesn't matter. So what we can say is, in general, if we are looking to as a process of human development and growth, there are many elements, then we can use these methods and also these models, and it means that it unlocks a person potential to maximize their performance. Coaching helps them to learn rather than teaching them. I remember all the time, because I'm a very strong person, and my personal quality is be all the time very strong and very clear, and not always positive, but it's absolutely different in a coaching. So, and if we are talking about terms and these elements, coaching has traditionally been associated with a sport, and every top athlete has a coach. In the last few years, coaching has become applicable in every area, in business and in every aspects of life, as well as sport. Absolutely in every area and every different type of area, you can use these methods as a coach, as a manager, as a boss, as a leader, whatever. So now it's quite normal for someone to see a coach to help them achieve their goals in their life and work. So coaching is a partnership between a coach and client. And that's my also definition. If we are seeing now this slide, coaching is training, workout, telling the facts, discussion, communication, all these skills which actually are important in nowadays in a modern world. Because if we are looking now what's happening in a world, and we can see this distance learning and all these online sessions and online communications, and we have to absolutely learn in the beginning these skills in online, and coaching actually methods can help also to communicate through online and be also from a distance. As I said, coaching does not teach but helps to learn. It's not so from practical view, it's not so easy actually, because if I'm talking about business area or business field, you have to all the time as a leader or as a manager, you have to remember that coaching doesn't teach but helps the employees, helps to students, helps the colleagues how to get it and achieve more and more specific goals. While there are many different models of coaching, here we are not considering the coach as expert, but instead the coach as facilitator of learning. And you can see Timothy Delvey, actually it's very famous person, you know, that he did very interesting things. Also, still, we can read these methods absolutely useful for modern world also. And there are differences between consulting, between therapy, between mentoring also process, but somehow there are relationship and also some elements absolutely the same also in a coaching. And you can see in this slide how it look like if we are talking about exactly coaching process, not consulting process and therapy process. So there are many interesting examples and case study you can read from Tim Galway about these trainings and also examples how to use in real in a sport, in an auditory with the students, also with the partners, how you can get a best result or more appropriate result for you as a manager or coach using this coaching process approach. So, and in conclusion, we can say that we have to interested in inner game. You know, there are interesting term, inner game, and it's there is always an inner game being played in your mind, no matter what outer game you are playing. And this is a game can make the difference between success and failure in the outer game. This is what Tim Galway said in the Inner Game book. You can this article read in the Harvard Business Review the database, and there are many examples how to use in real this coaching process. So what I will now ask the first you what and how you feel, what does it mean for you integral coaching? Maybe you heard about it and you already use this method. How do you think, what does it mean? Not only coaching as a term and coaching as a method how to achieve more efficiency results, but it's integral coaching. Maybe someone can explain or give some examples. Hello, Nina are looking at me.
I was scared that you picked me because I'm one of the few that has the camera on.
Sorry, I see you.
No, it is super fine, don't worry. I was at the moment busy reading your quotes here that I think is very interesting. For me, integral coaching means that I take the individual as they are, because there is no general way to coach someone, and to accept people in their individualism. And for me, the main part in my work is always to make people aware that there is no recipe that you can follow and then you're successful. It's always to find out where are your strengths, what does it mean for you to be authentic, and in the way help them to become their best self, more or less, or as you said before, where they want to go. But sometimes I observe that people in coachings, that they strive for a certain perfectionism, to be perfect. But in my understanding, to be perfect is boring, and perfectionism is boring, because this is this ideal version that just exists on social media or in films. So I think your quotes hit it quite on the spot, to say that you have to find out more about yourself, and that is my understanding, our job as a coach. We have to help people.
Absolutely right. Thank you for your opinion. Absolutely, I agree with you also from experience. Yeah, it's, maybe some of or more here. I can't see all videos in this. Maybe someone also want to comment, or Angela or Frederick, Claudia, Suzanne.
Okay, let me just give, because what Nina said already is also my opinion, of course. But I would like to point out that for me, coaching is also that you understand on the one hand the problems the person your coach has, and that you try to help him or her on the way to the right solution, meaning that you do not present a solution, but you lead him or her towards the solution. This is my understanding of coaching, and I suppose it could be called integral coaching as well. Yeah. Also, I have not heard about this term integral coaching so far. So whenever I get asked by someone, how shall I do it, or how can I be, because I'm in the seminar business, you see. So my students sometimes ask me, how do you get your seminars? How do companies approach you? How can we do it then? Then I give my opinion, and I always try to focus on the person itself, and then give an advice, and they can follow the advice, or they can't, or they do not follow. Yeah, that's my understanding.
Yeah, it's very good. Thank you. Very good example. We are as an advisor all the time for our students, and this is a very important thing, to be all the time next to our students and to help all the time, to try to help understand together this process. Yeah, in simple way, if we describe the situation, because nowadays it's just to give some lectures and to give some theory background. It doesn't help in many situations. We have to be all the time really as a coach next to in this process. And integral actually means inclusive of everything, entire, complete, whole. And so it's deepest root, as also said Nina, it's the deepest way. Integral coaching refers to a way of coaching that is a whole, complete and integrated. It includes frameworks and development principles based on globally recognized integral theory, and it's more really deeper as just only open questions as a simple coach. And I suggest also that I recommend actually to use this integral coaching methods. It's more questions, more answers, more discussions. For sure, it takes time, lots of time. We know that we don't have lots of time, but we have to try find it. So about integral coaching, why I'm talking now, because actually in a coaching world, if we are talking about associations and many different organizations, then integral coaching now is most popular of these methods, not just only coaching as a simple way how to achieve personal qualities and so on. And the integral approach integrates so many perspectives. Actually, it can be used to develop many aspects of people lives, such as leadership, communication, relationship, team building, career development, and we can go deeper and deeper, but we are not psychologists. That's the point. We have to remember that we can't to see this future from history perspective. That's the point, but just only what are happening now in this day, now in this hour, and what we want to achieve now from this now perspective. So, and then there are also one interesting term and also one interesting thing is coaching supervision. You know, in coaching, we use also supervision methods because all these 10 years, I think, we have the different terms supervision also, and it's one absolutely different way and with an absolutely different knowledge base. But now we can put together also this coaching supervision things. Integral coaching is a deeper, coaching supervision with the integral coach methods is a deeper and deeper. It's a simple definition. But if we are talking about the terms, and supervision is an opportunity to bring someone back to their own mind, to show them how good they can be. And that's what I mentioned before. We have to be all the time with our partner, with our students, with our colleagues. And coaching supervision is a psychologically safe container created between the coach and coach supervisor, which holds space for the reflection of the professional aspects of the coaching work and the personal wellness, we can say, of the coach. So how does it work actually in real? How does it work in real? If I can say in my words, then my own working definition of coaching supervision is the opportunity to reflect on your own coaching practice in a safe space that will support you in your ongoing growth and development of a coach. It's not so hard to understand because I like actually in general coaching because it's a very, very, we can say not old discipline. It's a very young discipline, just only some 20 years old, and there are no huge background of science. Actually, these all methods and all these terms are very useful for practice, and that's why I like this. And we can discuss about this, and we can also train to set goals, to measure it, to use these SMART, GROW models, integral coaching method with the questions. It's a very simple because it's really not based on a very huge and hard theory background. So the function of supervision described as covering three different elements: normative, developmental, and restorative. And then from these three elements, we can also be as coaching, supervision, and also create these elements and put together this picture for helping to achieve these goals, because all these things are actually for our goals and also for tasks, how to achieve these goals. Then we can say that any approach to coaching should take into account two main components: the method used and approach to customer or a client, awareness to support. And these two elements or two perspectives or two dimensions, if we put together, then really we can get a very good result, because result actually is the most important in this process. In a coaching, formal coaching process, we have some 6 or 7 sessions with a conversation, with the steps, and step by step we want actually to define this result and also these resources which we need for this result. And then actually the step by step we are talking about the support to achieving this result. And interval coaching, as we mentioned, it's deeper as just only coach. There are 4 different types of coaching conversation, and but be careful with this one. As I said, we are not psychologists in some area, but just only coach, yeah, without these elements. And this conversation can, or these sessions, we can see from these 4 different views: the intake, the offer, the cycles of development, and completion. And then in all these steps or all these elements or all these sessions, we actually do plan as a coach for our clients or our students what we want actually also to get as a result. And then from this perspective, we are asking also to our client to do these things which we defined before. And if we are looking to from practical view, there are these 3 points which I mentioned in this slide about these conversations. Very simple method. This first conversation typically takes 1, but actually in real 2 hours. I can say it's from my practice, and it's designed for a client, as also you mentioned, and coach, to get really clear on both why the client is coming to the coach. No, for instance, also students, why they are coming to university, why they are learning, why they are studying, because all of persons really has individual goals, individual approach, but we have to help them really to define clear what actually we want to achieve. And then in this conversation, the coach offers insight using these metaphors into the client's current way of being in relations to their topic. For instance, you can take some paper, and then you can also do design thinking. You know, we can also use design thinking method to define goals, and you are listening client or student or partner or business partner, and you can also draw some keywords, what client mentioned, and then started to build this house, we can say, also from design thinking side. We can use also design if we wanted to more be specific in these methods. It's absolutely helpful method actually to draw. In nowadays, you know, this design thinking is very popular method in many fields, and it's also appropriate for coaching. So then yes.
Sorry, then I think that Nina wanted to add something.
Yes,
I wanted to ask you something for this process is 2 questions. First of all, in my experience, people don't have that much time often to take 2 hours just to define their problem, and they often come with quite specific situations. But I can imagine that it takes 2 hours if you have a quite big approach on a huge development that, as you wrote in step 3, that goes over a long time period with those cycles and so on. But do you see the same procedure also when the whole coaching session, so to go through all 4 steps, has 120 minutes?
Yes, actually, very good comments and questions also. It's very depends on actually on person, yeah, and we can also how ready person are to really to do this communication. That's a base point, because I had really one interesting situation when it was from student side. Student came and said, "I want to be a very rich person. Please help."
Okay, yes, this could take a bit longer than 120 minutes.
It's very simple, but you know, after 2 hours, actually, we defined these really clear goals and also plan and resources, what we need for this. And then after these 2 hours, students said, "No, I don't want to be rich."
You did a good job.
It depends. It depends how you are ready as a person from coaching side and also as a trainer side, and you just only show this right way how to use these methods to define what I want actually. But maybe you have a person who really know already what he or she wants. And then it's very simple to just only draw or create some plan in Excel and to do it, and just only follow how we can do it. And actually really depends on. And you know, in also in my experience, I had a persons who don't have absolutely time, and they absolutely hate coaching process, but they wanted to do something. And then the communication in the beginning not so positive, and I want to take outside. This is an inner game, as I said. Yeah, I have to be a little bit more. I don't know, psychologist actually from this way, but I can't to be such a kind of person actually. We can't be. But I have to, and then to communicate and to draw something, and these keywords to put in a place, then we can start communicate positive with a positive way, and somehow start to think that the coaching is not so bad. Yeah,
I fully agree, and that is my second question. You talked about design thinking, something I really like, and I fully agree. It's absolutely helpful because it visualizes everything also for the client or for the student or whoever is the client. And there my question is, how do you do it online?
Actually, it's the same as in a place from a distance. Actually, absolutely the same. But what's the point? It really takes more time.
But I mean, do you use PowerPoint, or do you use Mural, or
yes,
do you use
absolutely.
Concept Board, or
yes.
What do you use?
Yes, I use painting also.
Okay.
I also do all these in a slide. I'm painting and draw all these and do these visual graphs and all these things. I'm not painter, but I'm trying to just only show what the client are saying, and it's very useful, really. But from a distance, in an online, it's very important, because then I don't have a communication, and this drawing and painting is as a correlation between persons. And I
Okay,
really suggest to do it. Yeah, I really.
So you have a digital pen and a digital drawing board.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
you.
you know, in a WebEx, in a Zoom, you have possibility to do it. Yeah, you have possibility to draw something and start to draw, or if you are sharing your presentation, you can also add something if you have some topics which you already to put there, some keywords. But really, I think you have to work all the time to do some activities. It's very important, and then you can go to next step. Thank you.
Thank you.
So maybe some more comments. Very good that you are communicate with me. So okay, we are talking about integral coaching cycles of development, and there are 9 questions. What actually we are taught with Nina, and if you start this coaching process, then you can start with these questions to clients and also to discuss together the things, but not only from client side. Maybe you can also say your opinion from all these questions, and also give some examples from your perspective, from your life, from your experience. Then you can start more deeper this communication actually. Manager as a coach, I think it's there are nothing to comment, because the manager as a coach nowadays, we all are as a coach, and we have to also develop absolutely, as I said in the beginning of presentation, different skills. Start from emotional intelligence. It's a very important thing. We have to listen. We have to be careful. There are all these things in a coaching process which we really have to develop from this aspect. And also you have these skills in Excel, one of material, additional material, what Nuria said before, and this Excel material, maybe you can with also to evaluate yourself, and you also can measure your team and each team members, because there are competencies which need for modern concept company, and for this long-term company, and then you can see maybe some additional things what you need to develop, and also maybe some training or some team building things, but not maybe traditional team building. It's also not always working for, it's not a common practice nowadays for companies. But anyway, if you want to evaluate, I just only put example in Excel. There are already formulas for results, and you can train to see and evaluate each other also personally. So then. What I can say, 7 levels of personal awareness, manager as a coach. You can see these things about personal, and there are 7 clearly defined stages in the development of personal awareness. At each stage, a person has his or her specific relevant and vital needs, as you see in the slide. And this is an example how you can go through these steps and note what you need to do for these steps if you want to really be an effective manager as a coach. And I also, if you want, afterwards you can also send mails and ask any questions, and also additional materials. If you are interested in this, in these principles, please give information. I will send also additional materials about these steps and how to evaluate these 7 levels with examples and also with the methods. So just now remind that we can these tools. Yes, Stefano. Hi.
Excuse me. Can you
Hi.
read? Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you for this very interesting presentation. Can you read the first 3 or the top 3 levels, because they are cut in the previous slide, please? The names of levels 7, 6, and 5. Can you move to the previous slide, please?
Before, yeah.
Okay, at level 7, 6, and 5, I just read M, E, and D. Can you please read the...
How do you think? What does it mean? Yes, it's very good question. If you see that the first level is the animal, I can say that 7 levels is a master.
Determination, 5. Might be.
Absolutely.
And expectation.
Yes. How? Oh, you know.
No,
So,
I'm just guessing, and perhaps my
absolutely
English
right.
is
Absolutely
exactly
right.
what I need for those concepts.
Stefano, incredible. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I am in trouble with the last one. Let me think.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's a very good question, and I think now you will always remember these 3 words, because
Yes, for sure.
it's from coaching aspect. It's you said it by yourself.
Thanks a lot.
Very nice. Thank you for communication. Actually, I'm not alone now. So continue, and also you will now then define again these 3 words, because there are also group 7 levels of group perspective, from group perspective, and group is an association of people who share a common physical heritage or a common goal. Yeah, we know it from team and from, but we have to somehow with a coach method to do more appropriate these common goals, and also from this perspective to discuss. And again, there are 7 levels. Stefano now can define, but actually, Stefano, you know, I will also, if you for needs, I can send additional materials, and also there are different methods and also different definitions of these 7 levels, and sometimes you can find also just only 5 levels. Depends on many different methods which we can use, and I suggest to try which method is useful for you as personal, and just only training. Yeah, you know, it's a train all the time, and we have to develop by ourselves, as, and with the personal qualities we have to work all life, and that's the most important actually things. So as Nina also mentioned, then managers and professionals are busy people, and if coaching strikes them as simply the latest fad being pushed by human resource, and they will roll their eyes and comply with the requirements as minimum as possible. And if you want them to embrace coaching as not just the personal skills, but also a source of cultural strength, you will have to make clear why it's valuable for the business and their own success. And this is not so easy in every situation, because it's very short, clear, and focus really on these plus, and also these clear business add value or education add value. All the time we are talking about add value. And then if person can see or clarify this add value of this process, then we can achieve this goal. Afterwards, we define this plan. Then we can discuss about team coaching if we are talking about business field, also organization. Any organization, doesn't matter if it's a micro, small, medium, or big companies. Absolutely doesn't matter. These elements and all these effective things we can use, and we have to use actually if we want to achieve long-term goals. Coaching, the same as quality management systems, are focused on long-term goals, but very clear goals. And of course, if we are talking about these small goals or short-term goals, it helps, but we also have to focus on long-term goals if we are talking about organization and we are talking about company. And for sure, we know all these absolutely necessary points covered by this efficiency. But I think the most important, but it's just only my opinion, in nowadays is support and trust, and also patience. Be patient, be patient, be patient all the time from absolutely different sides and different fields, but we have to be somehow with a support field, and also we have to trust and also be patient. In every situation, actually, it's emotional intelligence. That's what I said. It's important, I think, in this also online system. And Nina said about this online. I have to also mention some what I saw in the last sessions. If you are listening your client in online, and if you are doing different things parallel in this conversation, immediately the client feel it, absolutely immediately. And you also, if you are talking and you have a positive conversation, maybe this first session, then even just only some attention to phone or attention to other presentation or something, there are some absolutely interesting interruption, and it's not so positive, actually. You have to focus, or be patient, as I said, all the time, focus on really this 1 hour or 45 minutes, let it be, yeah? Start with this one. It's very hard, actually, to focus just only your attention, and you know this generation, and you know these types of generations, and we know that it's not so easy to communicate with different generations the same. We have to also then use a little bit different communication, styles of communication, and that's for coach hard really time to get this result and achieve these goals. And remember that this generation aspect also is very important to take in mind for coaching sessions. And I think it's also maybe will be some new approach if you are talking about this time and time of limit. Then this last generation can't focus attention more as 40 minutes. It's absolutely incredible thing, but I saw that it's just only 45 minutes, and it's absolutely enough. And then they are starting to knitting and starting to be a little bit nervous. It's not reason your methods or your conversation, it's reason of generation. Yeah, and you have to all the time take in mind. But we are working with students. We know what does it mean. Yeah. because we have to keep attention all the time. And years by years, it's a more harder and harder. There are 10 maybe myths about the team leadership. And actually, I'm not sure that we can use leadership as a term in a coach. As a scientist, I couldn't still find a really useful or appropriate for theory leadership and coach. I think it's a more practical terms, and for sure we can discuss about this one, but team coaching and just leader or leadership, who knows? I think there are many approach now and different views, but anyway, I put there 11 some myth about this team leadership. So I can just only say my 12 rules to effective ongoing coaching. The first, give regular, frequent feedback. Feedback, you know, it's important in every situation, all the time if you are working with the people. Then create a culture of a team feedback. But it's my rule. Then push to the attainable limits. Absolutely incredible works if you really push all the time, but positive push. Be open to ideas. Just listen, I can say. So encourage to learn from others. Also, it's important to ask maybe in the second session, you can ask authority persons from this client side. Maybe he or she can describe who has authority and somehow also to build this and create this other experience and other things which we can see from client. Then all the time ask opinion, just simple, all the time. And it's also works in organizations from colleagues side, but also you can remember that it takes time, unfortunately. Yeah, these methods takes time, and for sure build confidence. These are my rules, and I all the time also repeat for myself these, and it works actually. So if you are now sleeping, then you can now wake up and see practical work and quick do this example. Actually, there are 3 blocks. So 3 blocks: trust and respect, communication, and results. And you can evaluate these 3 blocks. In each block, you can see also sub-blocks. There are a scale from 1 till 10 points. 10 is excellent. And if you are imagine your company or your organization, where are you working, then you can just quickly put these points in each sub-blocks and see this result in general. I will give you some 1 minute. And then maybe you can also comment, how do you feel? How many points did you get?
I have a question on it. 3.1, the results are achieved with appropriate quality, means the methods using. Okay.
Right. So it's one of hundreds example how very quick you can evaluate your team, and then think about your team. Do you need more coaching as from team coaching aspect or no? So maybe someone of you want to comment this result, or maybe we can discuss what we can suggest to do for better result. Nobody. Okay, I will go then. The next slide. It's very individual, of course. Sure. So also Latvian colleagues are here, and I think they are then evaluated me personally, but I don't want to then listen. Okay, I'm going ahead. So. Grow model. In our programs, we have also this theme as a grow model. I suggest all the time to use it in any situation, because I have actually in my head grow model all the time, really. And it's if you don't have really, you don't have enough time all the time, then you need to really use some methods also personal, not only for coach. And one of the best way to get better at non-directive coaching is to try conversing using the GROW model. It's just only 20 years old model, actually, from Sir John Whitmore, and GROW involves 4 action steps. The first letters of it gives a model its name. It's easy to grasp conceptually, but it's harder to practice than you might imagine, because it requires training yourself to think in new ways about what your role and value are as a leader, and then also many other aspects. Actually, you have to use integral coach. As I said, it's a more deeper method for also definition for these steps. I think we know all these methods about other goal definitions. We know SMART, POOR, CLEAR. Also, you have in Excel SMART goal. There are examples, also these steps. In each steps, you can also use this template. It's very useful, just very clear to set and step by step to describe and define these each steps from also SMART aspect. From GROW model, there are, you can see the SMART goal, and as I said, in Excel form you have a template for SMART goal, and also some maybe you can train with the students or with the auditories. There are also examples in one sheet, actually examples what you can use for train. But if we are talking, and this is the last one, we will finish after some 10 minutes. So GROW model, that's last theme. GROW model 4 steps. The first step is a goal, most important step, I think, because in the first session you have to discuss about these goals. I'm not sure that you will finish in the first session this step. But anyway, you have to try, because then you can build this house deeper and deeper and more bigger. So, and when you begin discussing a topic with someone, you are coaching, established exactly what he wants to accomplish right now. focus on nowadays, not you are not focused on past, you are not focused on future. So as really in this time, actually in this period, where are you all in this place? So what else? Yeah, maybe I mentioned here a good way to start actually is to ask something like, what do you want when you walk out the door that you don't have now? So, and no, maybe somehow you have to start communication positive, and as I said, start create, and there are many questions in this slide I will not read, what you can ask and discuss, and you can see it's a lot of work. So then two and third steps is reality and options. Also in these two steps, you have to set questions, you have to discuss these questions. You can't give some recommendations or some suggestions, just only ask questions in each of steps in this grow model. And if you if you use this positive perspective, if you ask open questions, if you draw, if you use this design thinking, actually I'm sure that you will do these 4 steps very quick. For sure, it's also training for all of us, but you have to somehow get this result also from this 4th step. And 4th step is the question will, and there are also very important things according to the 1st step when you define these goals. And yes, actually, this grow model, what I can say else, just only train, ask in each steps right questions, and all the time also do marks, notes, marks, all your history for yourself to see this perspective afterwards, and this develop from one session to other, from one conversation to other. I can say it's as a therapist all the time to do your notes for yourself, and also keep and save these drawing materials. It's very important, because when you will finish these coaching sessions or you will achieve these goals, you can show to client or to students the first this images, how it looked in the beginning of your session or your project, we can say. Also, it's very interesting afterward see how it's always there are so many changes which is done by process. As I said, also this example of a grow model you can see in additional material. I have a lot of more additional materials. If you want, just send me email. I will send additional some information for. But it's a very simple method, and I think actually that we are using these methods every day, but we don't call by grow model or something like that. I think we're using these methods all the time. So. What else? I also in these materials sent before presentation, you can see this life cycle. Maybe I will also open this life cycle. It's very also useful. I'm using all the time. Also for this first, so where I have, for first session, and also for myself in the 1st of January. So when I'm starting a new year, a new life every year. So there are these heels, and you can also put your mark for in each, also this method. And I also did already template, and you can evaluate your, for instance, business and career. How do you feel from 1 till 10? And also you can show and do together with your clients, with the students, with the groups, with the colleagues. And you can also change these points. You can change, for instance, family, friends, and romance with the other things which you want to achieve with the organization, with the team. And then you can put there some scores, and you can see how it look like. And then the best way after this one is to use grow model to do plan resources and also activities. How you, for instance, if you have 7, no, I don't know, okay, let it be health. If you want to develop health in organization, for instance, it's very important. Nowadays we have mental problems, we'll be honest, and with all these distance learnings and all these distance studyings, there are many problems. You can do some trainings maybe after, you can set some plan, you can really do some, and after some period you can then do this evaluation for this point, for instance. So this is a very simple method, useful for every situation. Also if you want to achieve some strategic goals and to do some strategy, long-term goals, and yeah, you can change this information here. Just only use this template. The information, of course, you can change, and you can play a game with this template. So thank you for your attention. For my side, yes, and Angela, and now it's free time for discussion. Angela,
yeah,
stage is yours.
I have a question, because I really like this life cycle model, and I have a question to you, because you first said you are doing it for yourself every year, and I suppose you have been doing it in different coaching processes with your clients or students. And my question now is, did you notice any big difference between your life cycle for this year in comparison to your life cycle from last year? And second question, did you notice any difference in your clients or in your students? And I'm referring to the last very, very difficult year for all of us. Yeah,
Angela, thank you. Absolutely a normal question. And I can say that all these points in this year, it's not better, but worse if I compare with the other years. Yeah, exactly, because I also have to train and work with myself, and there are many factors and impacts which are covered now. This is a life cycle for students, or I'm also working as a mentor, and then I'm using these methods. I can say that I have some cases, actually very excellent cases. We started from actually 0, 2, or 3 points, and after a year we finished with the 9 and 10 points in each these all points in general. And I have a really very famous person in Latvia who actually did business, got married, then also built a house and all these things, and also started to work with started to do sport and all these things, and I was absolutely happy about this result. But there were absolutely clear definition of aims. And also we have to all the time follow to these rules which we actually defined before. It's hard. It's lifestyle.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you. More questions? Okay, if not, then thank you for your attention. Thank you
sorry?
for, yes, Angela, yes.
Sorry. I was thinking I just leave the others, time for the others, but if there are no questions, one of my questions would be, as a scientist, I'm always interested in literature. And in your slides, do you also provide a literature list for all the things all those interesting things you told us, or are you going, because you said you're going to send material, but
yes, I can send.
a literature list, maybe, because
yes, sure, I will send literature list. Absolutely, and I can understand you, Angela. I always asking also references and literatures. So thank you. Yes, for sure. Yes, and a message from Nuri Lopez. Yes.
Yes, a message from me. It's only I only would
Only
like
from
to,
you, yeah.
Yes, it's from me. I only
Okay.
would like to thank everyone for coming
Thank
today
you.
for the webinar. Thank you to you, Zane, for your clear explanation. I understand that coaching is a very wide field, and with 1 hour is not time enough to explain everything, but I think that has been quite clear. For me, it has been helpful. I hope that for the other people as well. Of course, as you said, they can ask everything they need, and you can send them more information to get more knowledge about this field, and remind them that in the next webinar, the webinar 2, will be the webinar 3, sorry, in the 29th of June, will be longer than the other webinars, because will be more like a workshop with more practical tools to let them practice in the team building, coaching, and other techniques to let them apply it in the international cooperation platform, and they work as entrepreneurship coaches in their higher education institutions. And before finish, please fill in the satisfaction survey that we have left in the chat. And by my side, anything else, thanks to everyone, and thanks to you, Zane, for your presentation.
Thank you. This hour absolutely incredible. It's over already, and thank you for your attention, and see you in the next webinar.
Sane, may I ask you a last question? In the
Yes.
mail that you submitted us, there was also this skills method, and there you had some competence fields and so on, where you had put in a lot of keywords. In which sense do you use that?
What I didn't.
This skills method, you sent it also one Excel list where it was a lot of competence fields, I guess, and so on, like communication and leadership and all that. And then it was down in those columns, it was a lot of keywords written. Should that be like a reminder for us where we can dig for, where we can go for in coaching and look for, or how do you use this Excel sheet?
Actually, it's a personal evaluation or assessment, actually. This is how you can see what competencies you have to develop, and also your team member. And you can do from two sides. You can do as with your perspective, your team members, yourself, and then also to give to each members, and then put together, and then to put the score and see this result, this average result. That's more useful, not only from your perspective, but from each member. You can do from your perspective, then to give this template also for other members of team.
Okay, so I take this template, and then there's, for example, conflict, and then it says collaborative, conflict management, and then I score from 1 to 10, or?
Yes.
Okay, that's how it's meant to be.
Yes, I think it's useful also to see in general, this picture, how it works.
That view on yourself and from outside.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina.
Thank you for all the material that you sent. I've looked through and it's really nice and helpful.
Thank you. So nice. Have a good summer. So,
Same
bye.
to you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.